All right, welcome back. Homelessness is a growing concern throughout the United States. Sometimes are very tough for a lot of people, and it's impacting a lot of American citizens, but it's also impacting migrants, too. Amid this growing crisis that we're seeing at the southern border, we're seeing a spike in homelessness among migrants in major cities like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, where a lot of them turn up. So is there a correlation between the open borders and the growing migrant homelessness? Here to weigh in on this issue is former senior advisor to DHS under Secretary Mayorkas and retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Bernie Flowers. Also with me is former Director of Special Operations for the Drug Enforcement Agency, Derek Maltz. Great to have you both here. Derek, talk to me about this situation that we're seeing, about this growing concern of the migrant homelessness population in big cities and small towns. We see it here in New York. There is enough places to put them all, and the city's having to pay for it. But are we seeing that there is a correlation here between migrants that come in illegally, cities that can't put them up, and now are they ending up having to live on the streets? Is this the American dream?
John, thanks for having me. Yeah, I mean, look, with the wide open border, these illegals are coming into America. They're going to cities all over the place, and they don't have jobs, right? They're getting involved with, retail crime just to pay the bills, pay the cartels back. They're living on the streets. But, a lot of them have, housing in hotels that we're all paying for. So it's costing us a lot of money. They're getting involved with drugs. I mean, you look at San Francisco, John, as an example. The Honduran gangs are running all the drug trafficking with fentanyl and all this stuff on the streets. And it's a complete war zone. I mean, literally. Like, I used to love going to San Francisco. If I was asked to go there, I wouldn't go. It's very dangerous. It's disgusting. And the current vice president, Bortazar, has her blood is all over this, right? So she's got blood on her hands, right? And now she's going to the border and photo ops, right? The election fluff is coming. And you know what? They caused all of this.
You're absolutely right. And Bernie, what do you make of this shocking new ICE report, Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, showing that more than 600,000 illegal criminals have come into this country? They haven't been detained. We've got murders. We have rapists, thousands of them walking all over these cities. But to Derek's point here, that if you let these people in, they can't work because they don't get the work visas. Do they not resort back to crime? You bring in criminals that have already committed crimes in other countries. They come here, they can't work. What do? Are they going to wait for government handouts, or do you think that they're going to commit more crimes?
John, thanks for having me. To your point, the bottom line is that when you bring criminals into a system that is not used to that many criminals, the police, the enforcement officials can't handle that kind of load. And a lot of these people do not have the same cultural norms that we have. So also in Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio specifically, I've got ties there, and I've been told that the American government is subsidizing these people, as in they're telling landlords to push out American citizens, tax-paying American citizens, and they're subsidizing these people that are coming in there. So it's totally not good for the taxpayer, and it's unfair. But the bottom line is that these people are coming here. They're not part of our culture. And when they can't work, they're going to resort to crime. We got to do something about this. We got to do something about this right now, because the longer they stay here is the longer Kamala Harris and her brand of Democrats are going to, help them stay. So I say let's get them out of here as fast as we can.
And Derek, you touched on this, but the drugs are the other problem with this. Sure, you're letting all these people in that are criminals, but they're bringing drugs with them. And you touched on San Francisco specifically and the drugs that have plagued the streets there. You have homeless people all over, walking zombies. Is that not the bigger takeaway? Yes, we have crime. We have these criminals here, but is it not the drugs now that they're bringing in here that are also infecting this population?
Yes, 100%. I mean, the Mexican cartels, the violent gangs, the criminals are taking total advantage of the weaknesses and the soft on crime policies, and that's really important. But you look at law enforcement, they're out there doing the best that they can. I mean, CBP has already seized like almost 20,000 pounds of fentanyl. DEA seized 37 million fake pills, 5,400 pounds of fentanyl. But at the end of the day, the bad guys are taking total advantage. Like we just seized, there was a press conference last week. There was one pill press in Connecticut making up to 100,000 pills an hour. Okay, so the criminals are just taking advantage throughout the country, and this administration is responsible. How the hell can you promote somebody to the president that failed her job as not only the vice president, but a border czar? Makes no sense. If you had a job in Newsmax, are they going to promote you up if you're failing every day on your shows and your numbers
No.
are plummeting? Right. So people need to hold her accountable for the failures, and we're all paying the price. This isn't a Republican or Democratic issue. Everyone in America is going to pay the price as they're taking over our cities.
And real quickly, Bernie, we have to go to break, but I just want to get your thoughts on what Harris, when she went to the border, and her potential policy for handling this, because you've worked with DHS. Will it work? I guess,
No, it won't.
simply put.
She's a total fraud, and her stunt going down to the border. As I said before, when I was at DHS, we were told to call her the border czar. I mean, I'm literally seeing Secretary Mayorkas every day. He would come into my office for coffee and talk about the border czar and all the money we were bringing over and all that sort of stuff. And I had to hold my tongue. Well, I don't have to hold my tongue anymore. Everything about this woman is fraudulent. And if we elect her or allow her to be elected, shame on us. We have got to do everything we can to stop this and get President Trump into office. And I could tell you 1,000 other things, but just get out there and vote and bring your friends, because this is an existential crisis. Our country is at risk right now.
It is less than 40 days to the election, and you at home can decide how this goes. Bernie Flowers, Derek Maltz, appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. Have a good Sunday.
Thanks.
Iran is pledging revenge against Israel after an airstrike killed its leader. We're going to have a